Hello everyone, my name is Yusuf Edwards, and welcome to part 41 of the Abigail and Margaret Film School. Let us begin. They were hanging out in bed after they woke up. Yes, after they woke up, they were just hanging out in bed, just thinking about what they had just heard on the phone, or rather, what Abigail heard on the phone. She was debating about how she should have it. Well, actually, she already told Margaret about it yesterday. So anyway, she and her was talking about and they were talking about the situation, about the school being burnt down, and how they should handle all of this, and whether or not they should go to see it. She says, "I think we should," Abigail said to her wife. Margaret said no, that we already know the truth, we don't need to see that. But then she countered that and said, yes, I think we do need to see it because we need to see what happened, what actually happened. Alright, you can go see it, I won't. No problem. But in my opinion, I think you're making a big mistake. But it's not a big deal. I will go to see it. I will go to see the building burnt down, and I will go. I will go without you, and I will tell you about it. Okay? Deal. And they shook hands. Then Abigail gets out of the bed. She goes to take off her shirt because she's going to take a shower and go to the burnt down school. Then she goes to the bathroom. She undresses further, and then she goes to take a shower. After that, she gets out, dries off, then she goes back into the bedroom, goes to the closet, gets dressed, and then she goes to the living room. She opens the door and she's out. She's gone. She goes in, she gets in her car and she drives away. She unbuckles her seatbelt no, that's wrong. She pulls up to the building, or what was the building. She gets out of the car after she unbuckles her seatbelt, and she sees it. The building is burnt to a crisp. The sun was coming up. It was very sad for her, but then very angering too. It made her incredibly angry about the entire situation. She said to she said to herself, this is war. Then she gets back into her car and she drives away to pick up breakfast for her wife and herself. She gets to the fast food restaurant. She makes her order. After that, she gets the meal or the breakfast. And to make a long story short, she pulls up to the house. After that, she opens the door. She goes to the bedroom where her wife was still laying down, and she tosses the breakfast sandwich to her. After that, she obviously is very upset about the situation, and she just decides to eat her breakfast sandwich whilst talking about the situation, with her wife. She says, I thought they have made an enemy of us. I just want to say, I understand why you didn't want to go, but I hope you understand why I needed to actually go. And she says, yeah, I totally understand. If it's just not the right idea for me, I totally understand. So how do you feel? Well, I'm pretty angry. Like I said before, they have started a war with us, and I am going to put them both in prison. They have done damage to the school, and yes, we will rebuild the school, but it's just hard to see that, which is probably why you do not want to go. But this was a hard situation. I myself am not happy about the situation, and now that I'm talking about it with you, I'm quite happy for you and glad that you didn't go, because that would be a horrible situation. That would be a horrible situation for both of us to experience. But I did want you to experience it with you, because we are both sharing in this anguish together, as we do everything else. But I totally understand why you didn't want to go. Anyway, enjoy this breakfast sandwich. I am. She takes a bite, the second bite of it, anyway. And for the rest of the morning, they are enjoying their breakfast sandwiches together. After that, they decide to go out for a run. Way after that, it was a couple minutes after they ate their breakfast sandwiches. They go outside together and they begin running. But as they're running, Abigail gets angrier and angrier, but decides to not let that consume her, and decides to let that fuel her in a way that is going to make up for the entire day. She vows revenge on both of them, both the princess and of course Beatrice. So after their run, they decide to eat lunch. Abigail decided to cook lunch. So she had a salad. Well, not a salad, but she decided to cook a piece of chicken for them both. And they were eating it, and all she could think about was that building, was the school burning down. All she could imagine how it did burn down and how horrible it was. And every time she did that, she just got angrier. So, in order to tame the anger, after they ate lunch, she decides to go to therapy. She goes to the therapist. Well, the therapist's office, rather. She knocks on the door. She's not busy, and she walks in and explains the entire situation. She is shocked and angry alongside with her, but they do some breathing exercises, and after she talks about how she felt about the entire situation, she leaves. She goes back home, and she, of course, is beginning, and when she does go back home, Margaret is cooking dinner for both of them. She sits down, and she begins eating dinner. And that's when Susan Mack calls her, and she's not happy. During the dinner, she hears the phone rings. She goes to the phone room, and Susan calls her. They have a long conversation about the entire situation, and Susan is enraged. She is enraged. And about the entire situation, she is fuming about the entire situation, as anybody would in this situation, obviously. So she asks, what are we going to do about this? Well, we're going to get revenge. We're going to put them both in jail. That is the perfect revenge. Isn't that justice? Yes. Well, good. I like it that way. Well, I'll see you when I see you. I have to get back to dinner with my wife. Don't worry. I'm about to eat dinner myself. Susan says, she hangs up the phone, and she goes to she goes back to the dinner table, and she continues to eat dinner with her wife. And that was it. To be continued. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below telling me what you like about the video or hate about the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.